Welcome to a moment that could change the course of your life. Today we'll uncover the strategies and mindset shifts that high achievers use to break through barriers and create lasting success. This is more than just a motivational speech. It's your opportunity to step into the best version of yourself. Let's begin. In moments when someone tries to humiliate you, the first instinct might be to lash out in defense. It's easy to let your emotions drive you, to respond in anger or frustration, to react in a way that fuels the situation further. However, the most powerful response you can give is one that requires you to pause before reacting. This simple yet profound step gives you the space to detach from the emotional charge and take control of the situation. It's in this moment of stillness that you can decide how you want to move forward, choosing a response that doesn't just reflect your emotions, but reflects your strength and wisdom. When you are humiliated, it's common to feel hurt, embarrassed, or defensive. But by pausing, you create the opportunity to ground yourself and not let the negative words or actions of others define you. Instead of reacting impulsively, you are able to assess the situation from a place of clarity and self-awareness. This small break from your initial reaction gives you the power to rise above the chaos and refuse to let their words dictate your emotional state, to become the master of your response, not the victim of the moment. The next powerful step is redefining the narrative. When someone tries to humiliate you, they are attempting to shape the story about who you are. The key to overcoming this is to refuse to accept their version of reality. You are not the image they are trying to project onto you, and their attempts to belittle you only say more about them than it does about you. Instead, take control of your own narrative. In your mind, visualize a different story. One where you stand strong, unaffected by their words, and fully aware of your worth. When you can see yourself rising above the situation, remaining confident and unshaken, the humiliation loses its power over you. You are no longer caught in the trap of their projections. You've reclaimed the story of who you are. Your inner strength shines through, and no one can take that from you. Once you've grounded yourself and redefined the narrative, it's time to take inspired action. This doesn't mean you need to seek revenge or retaliate in a way that will only further escalate the situation. It's not about proving anyone wrong or seeking validation. Instead, the action you take should reflect your sense of self-respect and dignity. You are not defined by how others treat you, and your response should show that you know your worth. Speaking with calm assertiveness is a powerful way to demonstrate your inner strength. There's no need to shout, argue, or engage in a back and forth. By simply staying composed and confident, you show everyone, including the person who humiliated you, that you cannot be easily shaken. In some cases, taking action might mean walking away from the situation altogether, leaving behind toxic energy that only seeks to pull you down. Walking away is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of knowing when to preserve your peace and protect your emotional well-being. One of the most transformative things you can do when you feel humiliated is to reframe the pain. Instead of allowing the experience to drag you down into a negative spiral, choose to view it from a different perspective. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? Is it showing you something about the person who tried to humiliate you? Is it revealing a truth about your own inner strength and ability to handle adversity? Pain and suffering can be powerful teachers, and reframing the situation as a lesson helps you transform a painful experience into an opportunity for growth. Whether it's revealing the weaknesses of others or strengthening your own resilience, reframing the pain shifts the energy from victimhood to empowerment. You're no longer a helpless bystander in your own life. You are an active participant in your journey towards strength and self-realization. In the aftermath of humiliation, it's easy to allow negative thoughts and self-doubt to take over. The key to moving forward is to elevate your inner world. When you nourish your mind and spirit, you build a foundation that cannot be shaken by the actions of others. Engaging in practices that build your self-confidence, such as meditation, journaling, or affirmations, can have a profound impact on your emotional state. Your inner world reflects your outer reality. When you focus on strengthening your inner sense of peace, confidence, and self-worth, you create an unshakable sense of resilience. This inner power acts as a shield against external negativity. No one can diminish your value or sense of self unless you allow them to. By elevating your inner world, you create a space of invulnerability where you are free to thrive, no matter what comes your way. When someone humiliates you, it's easy to fall into the trap of accepting their words and actions as the truth about who you are. The pain of the moment can cloud your judgment, and you might find yourself believing the negative things they've said. However, it's essential to remember that their version of the story is not the truth about you. You are not defined by how someone else chooses to view you or treat you. The power lies in how you choose to see yourself in the midst of these challenges. Redefining the narrative begins the moment you realize that you hold the pen to your story. It's easy to let someone else dictate how you should feel or who you should be based on their perception of you, but this is where you reclaim your power. The experience of humiliation is not a reflection of your worth. Rather, it's an opportunity to rewrite your inner script, to step into a new version of yourself that is strong, resilient, and unshaken by the negativity around you. The first step in redefining the narrative is to acknowledge that you are not a victim of their words. Yes, their actions may have hurt you, and the sting of humiliation is real, but it doesn't have to shape your identity. You have the ability to rise above this moment and create a story of strength and self-respect. When you're in the midst of pain, it may seem difficult to see beyond it. But remember that pain is temporary. It's what you do with that pain that defines you. To take control of the narrative, begin by shifting your perspective. Instead of focusing on the hurtful words or actions, focus on your response to them. You can choose to see yourself as a survivor, someone who has withstood the storm and emerged stronger. By changing the lens through which you view the situation, you start to reclaim the power that was once given away. The story becomes about your resilience, your ability to rise above the negativity, and your unwavering belief in your own worth. Visualize yourself in the most empowered version of this scenario. Imagine standing tall, no longer affected by their words, but fully aware of your own value. In this reimagined narrative, you are calm, collected, and untouchable by their attempts to tear you down. You no longer give them the power to determine your emotional state or self-worth. This new narrative paints you as the hero of your own story, someone who takes control of their emotions, who refuses to let others dictate how they feel, and who chooses peace and strength in the face of adversity. This morning we teach you that as you continue to redefine the narrative, it's important to detach yourself from any lingering guilt, shame, or self-doubt. These emotions are often tied to the belief that we have done something wrong, that we deserve the humiliation or criticism we've received. However, this is not the truth. The way others treat you is a reflection of them, not you. Their behavior speaks volumes about their character, not yours. By releasing the burden of guilt, you free yourself from the emotional chains they've tried to place on you. This is your moment to rise above. Instead of allowing the experience to diminish you, let it serve as a catalyst for growth. What can you learn from this situation? Perhaps it's showing you the true nature of those around you, revealing their insecurities. Or it's an opportunity to deepen your understanding of your own strength. No matter the lesson, when you choose to embrace it, you begin to see yourself not as a victim of circumstances, but as someone who is growing and evolving with every experience. Redefining the narrative also means embracing your worth in the face of adversity. When others try to humiliate you, it's a reflection of their inability to see the light within you. They may be projecting their own insecurities, and their actions are a defense mechanism to make themselves feel better. By choosing not to absorb their negativity, you stand firm in the knowledge that your worth is not determined by anyone else's opinion. You are valuable, and no one can take that away from you. The process of redefining the narrative is about reclaiming your personal power. It's about choosing how you want to be seen, not by others, but by yourself. The moment you decide that you will not let anyone define your worth, you free yourself from the pain and humiliation they tried to impose. Instead of letting their words control your emotions, you take back control. You become the author of your story, writing a tale of strength, resilience, and self-love. Entrusted with your beliefs and values, it's your obligation to speak truth, strive for justice, and live life to the fullest. In doing so, you send a powerful message not only to the person who tried to humiliate you, but to everyone around you. You are untouchable. Your sense of self-worth comes from within, and no one has the power to change that. By redefining the narrative, you demonstrate to the world that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by the unwavering belief in who you are and the strength you carry within. As you continue to rewrite your story, remember that the most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. Others may try to shake your confidence, but it is up to you to stand firm in your own truth. Rewriting the narrative is the first step toward building a life that is rooted in self-love, respect, and a deep understanding of your own value. When you choose to see yourself in a new light, you set the stage for a future where you are untouchable, no matter what challenges may come your way. When faced with humiliation, the natural response may be to shut down, to retreat into yourself, or even to strike back in anger. But there's a deeper, more powerful way to respond: taking inspired action. This isn't about revenge or proving someone wrong. It's not about doing anything that feeds into negativity. Instead, taking inspired action means stepping forward with purpose, grace, and strength, choosing to act from a place of inner wisdom and self-respect. It's about taking the high road not just for the sake of others, but for your own peace and emotional well-being. Inspired action starts with a deep understanding of who you are and what you stand for. It's easy to react impulsively when someone humiliates you. Your emotions can take over, pushing you to retaliate. But when you act from a place of inspiration, you step beyond the noise of emotion and tap into the calm, centered part of yourself that knows the best course of action. Instead of being driven by frustration or hurt, you respond in a way that aligns with your values and sense of integrity. Many times, this shift in mindset transforms how you handle the situation. Instead of rushing to defend yourself or seek retribution, inspired action asks you to pause and reflect. What's the most empowered response in this moment? What can you do to regain your sense of control and power, without lowering yourself to the level of the person who tried to bring you down? When you act with intention, you are no longer a passive participant in your own story. You are actively shaping your response to adversity. Now please welcome to the Wings of Success podcast, your host, Jennifer Mora. Taking inspired action doesn't mean you have to be loud or dramatic. In fact, sometimes the most powerful actions are the quiet ones. It might mean speaking up with calm authority, making sure your voice is heard in a way that commands respect, or simply choosing not to engage in the drama. There's an undeniable power in walking away from a situation, not because you're afraid or weak, but because you value your peace too much to let someone else disturb it. Walking away from negativity is a powerful statement. It says that you refuse to participate in anything that isn't aligned with your highest self. Letting go. Another form of inspired action is setting boundaries. When someone humiliates you, it's a clear signal that your personal space or sense of dignity has been violated. Taking action in this case means standing firm in your boundaries and communicating them clearly. You don't have to tolerate disrespect or mistreatment. Setting boundaries is an essential part of self-respect, and it allows you to protect your energy while still maintaining a sense of dignity. Boundaries are not walls that keep others out. They are guidelines that define how you expect to be treated. Inspired action can also involve choosing not to internalize the humiliation or let it dictate your emotions. The action here is mental and emotional. Refusing to let the negativity of others invade your sense of self. This may require deep inner work, such as practicing mindfulness or positive affirmations. But with each passing moment, you take more control over your emotional state. You learn to disconnect your worth from the judgments of others, choosing to focus on your own inner light rather than the temporary darkness they may try to cast upon you. Being as we are, taking inspired action might also involve stepping back and allowing yourself time to process the situation. There's no need to respond immediately to an insult or act out of emotional hurt. Sometimes the most powerful move is to step back, reflect, and then respond thoughtfully. By doing this, you maintain control over your actions and ensure that you aren't acting from a place of reaction, but from a place of intention. The emotional rush that comes with humiliation can cloud your judgment, but by taking time to collect your thoughts, you position yourself to make decisions that reflect the best version of yourself. Another important aspect of inspired action is practicing forgiveness, not for the other person, but for your own peace. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing the humiliation or letting the person off the hook. It simply means freeing yourself from the emotional burden of carrying around resentment and anger. When you hold on to bitterness, you give the other person continued power over your life. But by choosing to forgive, you reclaim that power and free yourself to move forward with grace and ease. Forgiveness is an act of self-liberation, allowing you to break free from the emotional ties that bind you to the past. Taking inspired action also means shifting your focus back onto yourself and your own personal growth. Humiliation can shake you to your core, but it can also be an opportunity for reflection and self-improvement. Ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me about my own limits? What can I learn from this experience? Every challenge, every painful moment carries within it a lesson that can propel you forward. Inspired action means using the situation as a catalyst for growth, allowing it to sharpen your resilience and enhance your emotional intelligence. You don't allow the pain to define you. Instead, you allow it to shape you into a stronger, more grounded individual. This is like becoming brittle. Pain is an inevitable part of life, and while it can often feel like the end of the world when we experience it, there's a deeper truth that can transform how we handle these difficult moments. Pain, especially emotional pain, has the potential to shape us if we allow it to. Rather than letting it control us or define us in negative ways, we can choose to reframe it, to look at it from a different perspective. When you reframe pain, you take away its power to hurt you, and instead you allow it to become a tool for growth, strength, and resilience. This process doesn't dismiss the pain. It doesn't try to make it go away or pretend it isn't real. It simply changes how you relate to it, how you choose to move through it, and what you learn from it. One of the first steps in reframing pain is acknowledging that it's not permanent. In moments of intense emotional distress, it can feel as though the pain will never end, that it's all-consuming and endless. But nothing in life lasts forever, and the pain you're experiencing is no exception. By recognizing that this too shall pass, you take away the fear that comes with it. You shift your focus away from the immediate discomfort and remind yourself that time has a way of healing. This understanding allows you to approach your pain with a sense of detachment, knowing that you can endure it and come out stronger on the other side. Another powerful way to reframe pain is to see it as a form of awakening. Pain often comes when we're faced with challenges that push us out of our comfort zones, whether it's a betrayal, loss, or emotional wound. These moments, although difficult, provide us with an opportunity to expand, to grow, and to evolve into the person we're meant to be. When you reframe pain in this way, it stops being something to avoid or fear. Instead, it becomes a wake-up call, a signal that you are being invited to rise to a new level of understanding or personal power. Every painful experience is an invitation to awaken to a deeper sense of self and to begin living with more authenticity and purpose. Reframing pain also involves letting go of the idea of victimhood. It's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like a victim when something painful happens. We often blame ourselves or others for our suffering, and this can keep us trapped in a cycle of resentment and self-pity. But reframing pain means taking responsibility for how we respond to it. It means recognizing that while we may not be able to control the circumstances that cause the pain, we have full control over how we choose to navigate through it. Rather than seeing yourself as a helpless victim, you begin to see yourself as a warrior who has the strength to endure, learn, and grow from the experience. This shift in perspective changes everything. It allows you to reclaim your power and stop giving it away to the situation or the people involved. Another important aspect of reframing pain is the idea of transformation. Pain is often the catalyst for change. It forces us to look at ourselves and our lives in new ways, to reconsider what matters, what we value, and what we're willing to tolerate. When we face pain, we are often given the opportunity to redefine ourselves, to let go of old beliefs or habits that no longer serve us, and to embrace a new way of being. Instead of seeing pain as something that diminishes you, see it as something that molds you. Pain can strip away the layers of ego, self-doubt, and fear, revealing a more authentic version of yourself underneath. This process of transformation can lead to profound healing and a stronger, more aligned version of who you are. One of the most profound ways to reframe pain is by looking at it through the lens of gratitude. This may sound counterintuitive. How can you be grateful for pain? But when you look at pain as a teacher, as an opportunity for growth, and as a pathway to a deeper understanding of yourself, it becomes something that can be appreciated. Gratitude doesn't mean you have to feel happy about the pain itself, but rather it's about appreciating the lessons it brings. Gratitude allows you to shift your mindset from one of suffering to one of learning and growth. When you can find the silver lining in your painful experiences, you begin to take away their power over you. Gratitude shifts your perspective from victimhood to empowerment, and it helps you see that pain, while uncomfortable, is a necessary part of the journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. When you reframe pain, you also open yourself up to healing. Pain often blocks us from moving forward, from seeing the possibilities that lie ahead. But when you reframe it, you create space for healing to take place. By reframing, you release the negative charge that pain holds over you, allowing you to move forward with greater clarity and ease. The process of reframing helps to dissolve the emotional weight that pain can carry, making room for peace, understanding, and emotional freedom. As you reframe your pain, you also begin to release the past, no longer allowing it to dictate your present or future. This is a powerful form of self-liberation, as you break free from the emotional chains that bind you to past hurts. In the face of life's challenges, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by external circumstances, stress at work, conflicts in relationships, or personal setbacks. However, the key to navigating these obstacles with strength and grace lies not in changing the world around you, but in elevating your inner world. Your inner world, the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that you hold within, directly impacts how you experience the world outside. Everything in the last blink of an eye. By consciously shifting your inner state, you unlock a greater sense of peace, purpose, and power. Elevating your inner world requires intention, mindfulness, and self-awareness. It's about cultivating a mindset and emotional landscape that supports your growth and well-being, regardless of external conditions. One of the most impactful ways to elevate your inner world is through the power of positive thinking. The thoughts you entertain in your mind shape your perception of reality and influence your actions. If you constantly focus on the negative, you are essentially creating a life that feels heavy and challenging. However, by intentionally shifting your focus toward positive thoughts, you start to rewire your brain to seek solutions, possibilities, and opportunities. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties you face, but rather choosing to see them as temporary and surmountable. Positive thinking allows you to maintain hope and optimism, even in the face of adversity, and it helps you stay grounded in your own power. Karavarina Saint Kamara. Equally important is cultivating gratitude, a practice that has the power to elevate your emotional state and transform your perspective. When you actively practice gratitude, you focus your attention on the things that are going well in your life, no matter how small they may seem. Gratitude shifts your focus away from what's lacking and brings awareness to the abundance that already exists. It helps you find beauty and joy in the present moment, even when things feel tough. By elevating your emotional state with gratitude, you develop a deeper sense of fulfillment and contentment, which radiates into every area of your life. Gratitude serves as a reminder that even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for, and that small moments of joy can provide immense strength. Another powerful way to elevate your inner world is by cultivating self-love and acceptance. So often we are our own harshest critics, berating ourselves for mistakes and imperfections. This self-criticism can lead to feelings of inadequacy and worthlessness, undermining our sense of confidence and self-worth. Elevating your inner world requires a shift in how you view yourself. Treating yourself with the same kindness, patience, and compassion that you would extend to a friend. Self-love means recognizing your inherent worth regardless of past mistakes or flaws. It means accepting yourself fully, knowing that you are worthy of love, success, and happiness simply because you exist. By nurturing a relationship of love and respect with yourself, you build a solid foundation of confidence that allows you to face life's challenges with resilience and grace. In addition to self-love, another key element of elevating your inner world is cultivating mindfulness and presence. When you're constantly living in the past or future, you miss the richness of the present moment. Elevating your inner world requires you to slow down, take a deep breath, and truly be present with whatever is happening in your life right now. Mindfulness helps you detach from the constant stream of thoughts that may cloud your judgment or create unnecessary stress. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you reduce anxiety and overwhelm, allowing you to respond to challenges with clarity and calmness. The more you practice mindfulness, the more you begin to realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them. This realization allows you to cultivate inner peace, even amidst chaos. Hence, it becomes more important than ever. Another essential practice for elevating your inner world is letting go of limiting beliefs and negative patterns that no longer serve you. Many of us hold on to beliefs that are rooted in fear, doubt, or past experiences. These beliefs shape how we see ourselves and our potential, often holding us back from pursuing our goals and dreams. By consciously identifying and releasing these limiting beliefs, you create space for growth, expansion, and new possibilities. Releasing old patterns of thought that keep you stuck opens up the potential for transformation, allowing you to adopt new, empowering beliefs that align with your highest self. This process of letting go involves trusting that your inner world is capable of evolving, and that you have the power to change the narratives that limit your potential. Taking inspired action is another important element of elevating your inner world. It's not enough to simply think positively or practice mindfulness. You must also take action that aligns with your desires and goals. When you act from a place of inspiration, you move toward your dreams with confidence and purpose. Inspired action comes from a place of clarity and alignment with your true self. It's about making choices that are in harmony with your values and aspirations. By taking consistent, inspired action, you create momentum in your life, which leads to a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. Every small step you take toward your goals reinforces the belief that you are capable and deserving of success. Pain can feel like an overwhelming force that knocks you down and makes you question everything. Whether it's the pain of a broken heart, a loss, a failure, or any other emotional turmoil, it can be easy to believe that this suffering will define you. But within every experience of pain lies the potential for transformation, for turning what hurts into something that propels you forward. Pain does not have to be a constant, unrelenting force in your life. Rather, it can be the catalyst that unlocks your hidden strength and helps you grow into a stronger, more empowered version of yourself. The key to turning pain into power is not to resist it, but to face it, understand it, and use it to fuel your journey toward healing and growth. In Chapter 10, Pain and Health, one of the first steps in transforming pain into power is acknowledging it. Too often we try to bury our pain pretending it doesn't exist, or pushing it aside to avoid dealing with it. However, this only allows the pain to fester and grow stronger. The true power lies in facing the pain head-on. Recognize it for what it is, a sign of deep emotional or physical distress, yes, but also an opportunity to evolve. But take notice of what happens next. Not just the pain of self-imposed distress, yes, but also an opportunity to evolve. When you allow yourself to feel the pain, without judgment or shame, you begin the process of healing. By acknowledging the pain, you break its power over you, as it is no longer something to fear or avoid. Instead, it becomes something you can work through and rise above. Once you've acknowledged the pain, it's time to reframe it. Pain is often seen as a negative, destructive force, but this perspective only limits its potential. What if pain, instead of being something that diminishes you, is actually a force that builds you? Pain can teach you things about yourself that you might not otherwise understand. It can show you what truly matters, what your deepest values are, and what you need to change in your life. Through the lens of transformation, pain becomes a mirror, reflecting back to you aspects of yourself that need attention, growth, or healing. Reframing pain means shifting your mindset from viewing it as an obstacle to seeing it as an opportunity for personal development. Pain can also serve as a powerful motivator. When you experience emotional or physical discomfort, it can push you to make changes in your life that you might not have made otherwise. Sometimes we become complacent in situations that aren't serving us, but pain has a way of shaking us out of our comfort zones and forcing us to reassess our choices. Whether it's a painful breakup, a failed project, or a setback in life, pain can be the wake-up call that propels you to take action. Rather than allowing yourself to remain stuck in a state of suffering, you can use the pain as fuel to make decisions that will ultimately lead to greater happiness, success, and fulfillment. When you begin to see pain as a motivator, it shifts from being something that holds you back to something that pushes you forward. The process of transforming pain into power also involves healing. Healing is not an instant fix or a simple solution. It is a journey that requires patience, self-compassion, and persistence. Healing begins when you give yourself permission to take the time you need to recover from the pain, both physically and emotionally. It involves seeking support, whether through talking with a loved one, finding professional help, or engaging in self-care practices that nurture your body and mind. Healing also involves forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Often we hold on to guilt or shame related to our pain, and this can keep us stuck in a cycle of suffering. By forgiving yourself, you release the emotional weight that holds you down, allowing yourself to heal more fully. As you heal, you gradually transform the pain into strength. Another important aspect of transforming pain into power is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to face life's challenges with strength and perseverance. It's not about avoiding pain or pretending that you are unaffected by hardship. Rather, it's about developing the ability to endure, learn, and grow from painful experiences. Resilience allows you to take setbacks in stride, knowing that they do not define you. When you build resilience, you create a mindset that is unshaken by difficulties, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity for growth. With resilience, pain becomes something that teaches you how to stand tall in the face of adversity and continue moving forward. I'm Stephanie Sidrick. Pain can also foster a deeper sense of empathy and compassion for others. When you experience pain, you gain insight into what it means to struggle, to suffer, and to heal. This understanding allows you to connect more deeply with others who are going through their own struggles. You begin to see the humanity in others, and you approach their pain with kindness and understanding. The more you embrace your own pain, the more you are able to offer compassion to others who are facing similar battles. In this way, pain not only transforms you, but it also strengthens your connections with others, allowing you to support and uplift those around you.